Yeah.
This music?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the good stuff. I feel like it colors. It's like a Febreze air freshener.
Oh, for sure.
Music, it's just
It's time to leave.
yeah. So, could you maybe talk a little bit about your relationship to poetry in general? I know that's a gigantic question, but you can really take it and go wherever you want with it. Maybe kind of focusing on what poetry is to you, you know.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you the first book I got of poetry. I'll always remember this book because it's priceless. I've never seen another copy of this ever.
It's called Priceless?
No.
Or it is priceless?
It's this woman who's a Jamaican folklorist, and her name is Mary Lou, and my dad used to read that to me when I was really young, and I don't have, like, my father's language it's not written down, it's not a written language, it's just it's a spoken language. Mm-hmm. So poetry and stories are really connected tightly because that's how history is kept in Jamaica. Mm-hmm. So with patois and like my culture, that's really precious to me. So there's this book of all these pieces, and I would sit and try to read them, and it's so hard to freaking read because it's not like, you know, it's not a written language. So yeah. That book is really important to me. I have it still. My dad doesn't know I have it. And then, but I think tied to that, why I love poetry so much is because, you know, I'm first generation Jamaican, and poetry and words allow they do create like Febreze and a different energy, and they I can experience things through feeling from getting from the words, even if I didn't have that experience. So hold on, wait.
Are you crying? Are you so moved?
Heck no.
Well, I get it. Like words have a certain magic to them that I feel like still exists. You know, if you just listen hard enough. You know, and especially when it's connected to kind of like an oral tradition.
Right.
Like, I feel kind of like I'm missing out on that kind of stuff growing up in the middle of Minnesota. But
well, I mean, that's what I was saying. Like that, like words can do that. Words can, if somebody uses the correct phrasing or just something that you can pick up on, you might be able to have a parallel experience or understanding of what people can do. I mean, there is this. One of my favorite writers is Richard Wright, who, you know, is a novelist. I like novels a lot, but his style of writing is really poetic. I will read his books, and there'll be sections. I'll pull out the sections that look like poetry to me. He described getting shot once, and he said it felt like a sand was pouring out of my body. And I've never gotten shot. Thank Earth, I've never gotten shot. I'm saying, but I know, and I can imagine it would freaking hurt like hell, obviously. But what else? I mean, that's obvious. It's obviously gonna freaking hurt. But what does it feel like? You know, I mean, I don't know what it's like to lose that much weight out of my body. And I'm sure, you know, when he said it feels like sand pouring out of my gut. Like, that makes me feel like, oh, I know what sand feels like. I can associate with that. So I think that's, I think that poetry creates this visceral experience, even if you're separate from that reality.
How do you think poets and novelists and, you know, anyone who's writing words that people are listening to, how do you think they sharpen their powers? You know, how do they learn how to do what they do and evoke these wild images and feelings?
I don't freaking know. I mean, I got accepted into this fellowship, this Gibbons Writers Fellowship, because I needed to figure that out. I needed to learn on honing my writing, and I think it's, first off, it's doing a lot of work, and you guys talk about this with music too. It's like you can't be afraid of the crap. So just getting things out of your head, journaling a lot, and spending time thinking. For me, I write the best when I'm in a hypnotic state. So the drive from my parents' house in Brooklyn Park back to my apartment in Minneapolis, I could drive that with my eyes closed and drive my car in reverse. So when I drive that, it just becomes so monotonous. And I've written some great stuff. Can I cuss right now?
Sure.
Okay, I don't. I just found myself being like, stuff.
Yeah, some great words.
I found myself writing some really, like, things that I love when I'm mostly like in that state, or like it's 3 a.m. and I wake up. That's just for me. Also, at least I think it's also good to share your work with people. Some writers might not say that, but I think it also allows you to get more comfortable with your work. Sometimes I'm scared of my work. So.
Do you think you're self-critical of your own work?
Oh man, hell yeah!
Perfectionist, yeah.
Hell yeah! Oh my gosh! I mean, I'm so guilty. I'm so guilty of that, and I think it's really thwarting of the work. If I don't share it, then I'm scared of it, and I shouldn't be afraid of words. You know, I feel like that's so important to document what I feel. I think it's so important to document what I feel, just like Mary Lou and my father.
I think it's hard though. Like people will say that you need to just make mistakes, as if making an artistic mistake that your name is on isn't gonna hurt just as much as making a mistake like car accident style, you know? Like, it is deeply bruising, you know? And so I guess part of me, when I say I want to write some bad music and get it out of my system, I don't know if I'm reckless enough sometimes.
Yeah. Because
it hurts if it comes out bad, because, you know, the self-criticism can be the most painful.
Oh, for sure. You know? For sure.
But I think, I don't know, if people can become divorced from that, I think they take some beautiful chances, and the writing, or in whatever style it may be, does the work for them. Because usually if people are doing that, and they're doing it at that degree of comfort, when they're just doing it for themselves, for fun, as an exploration, I think their intuition takes over.
You know, what writing bad poetry has done for me is taught me that I'm really affected by when I write and time. Because I don't know how many times I've gone to like a club just to go listen to some music and try to write, and wrote the most bullshittiest bullshit ever. And I have so many X's and like garbage cans drawn on my notebook.
That's good. I better use that.
Then I'm just like, oh God, I can't believe I wrote this. I remember one time I left my notebook at Micah's house, and my fear was that there was so much shit in there that I would not want anybody to read. It was just so bad and so cliche, and just like thoughts that I didn't push myself, you know, just like, I don't know. I didn't really care, you know. It was kind of like I was just writing because it was an obvious time for me to be writing. Like, oh God, listen to this music, and look at the lighting, and people are drunk, and I should be writing about all this. And it's like, nah, I should just absorb it, like take it in and experience the life that I get to experience right now. And then when finding a time that I can hone into that, which is usually when I'm in a place that is a lot more meditative. And now I've been learning how to bring that out of me, like how to create that space without forcing it.
I think that's what makes it seem weird, is when you go into it like you're forcing it. This thing paused. No, we're good. If I ever go somewhere with the intent of writing some music, usually that is enough to just mentally bind me up so irreparably that just like nothing will come out. But if I have like a paper to do, like this is a huge problem in my life. If I have some looming commitment, I cannot stop the music from coming out of me.
Really?
And all I want to do is just skip that and write music. You know, I don't know what it is, but I don't know. So that's definitely the intent, you know, I feel like is very important when going into music. But at the same time, I feel like poetry, music, as a process of cataloging what has happened in the world, as a way of, I don't know, like newspaper clippings. Today is the anniversary of Osama bin Laden's death, and I know that because when he died, I wrote a piece that I don't play anymore because I don't like it very much.
Really?
But at the time, I got it out all in one day, and it seemed like I loved it for longer because of that, because it was kind of a little snapshot of a day, you know, and a momentous day at that. And we're doing a piece in Jazz Band that's a tune I wrote for Noah's birthday last year, which is coming up this Friday.
Really?
Yeah.
His birthday is the 4th of May. Oh, okay.
So I really do like the idea of writing pieces, because that's so ballsy. You have to do it so on the cuff.
Yeah.
You know, just trust that you know how to write. You know how to express yourself, you know.
Well, it's a journal of that day.
Exactly.
Journaling I love.
Exactly. I feel like if the daily journaling kind of process can be your main writing process, if you just do it clockwork every day, not necessarily trying to get a finished product, but still writing something new every day.
Yeah.
I feel like that's when it was in back then, as I was trying to write music, which I
was doing that adulthood.
It's always something.
10 minutes, not only to get that out of your mind, everybody's angle on you, and this couch looks different, and whatever. I think that's so important for history and the people that are after us. But I mean, just it feels good and it stretches your mind. I also I have been reading more, and I think that's really important. Other work, and that helps, because I don't want to write things that's already been said in the way they've already been said. Everything's already been said in the entire world ever. In the history of the world, it's been said, but not in the way that I want to freaking say it, you know?
Absolutely.
So I think that's another reason why I like writing. And like, I think that I'm ambiguously brown lady from the city, from the suburbs, from the city. It's, you know, by way of Minnesota, by way of Jamaica, by way of Africa. You know, I think that's like that's just a little bit of my story, and I feel like that's important. I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's the fucking narcissist Leo in me, you know, that I think it's important, but I think everybody, that's why I like reading stories, because I like learning about other people and poetry and what their opinion is and what their eyes see.
Well, yeah. Well, thanks for talking to me about
that's it?
Yeah, that's good, I think. I think that's good.
We can talk about this later without the camera.
No kidding. It's a little weird with the camera. Yeah, that was 4